Over 90% of all disease comes from one simple thing: stress. And stress can come in many forms. We have physical stress, we have chemical stress, but the most detrimental to all of us as human beings is that emotional stress. That stress that we create ourselves with that negative thought cycle that we get stuck into, right? The what ifs. What if this bad thing happens? And then what if this bad thing happens? And over time, if you let yourself do that long enough, you can literally make yourself sick. Well, in this video, I'm going to show how you can break that stress cycle. And if you can do this long enough and well enough, you can actually start to reverse those chronic disease states that you may be stuck in. Hey, I'm Dr. Sam McDonald. I'm a brain health expert, and this channel is dedicated to helping you rewire your brain so that you can live a better life. If you love this content, make sure to like and subscribe so you get the notifications for each week's new video. My first tip in order to bust the stress cycle is you need to change up the way that you're thinking, which means you need to interrupt that whole thought process so you don't create another negative thought in this downward spiral. And one of the fastest and best ways to do that is to replace that negative thought with something else. And you can use a kind of tool or something to be able to do that. I like a photograph. Some people use video. I think photo can be really powerful because you can make this very personal. So one of the ways that I'll do that if I'm stuck in a negative thought cycle is I'll think about a time with my wife and I'll look at a picture from that time that really brings me joy and makes me happy. Now, I always recommend having backups of these because maybe the reason that you're upset is because of your significant other. So in this case, if I was mad at my wife, then a picture of her is not going to help me break this negative thought cycle. So then I'll also have like a picture of my son and a time that we were together that really brought me a lot of joy. And again, if that's not going to work, maybe you don't have kids or something like that, then a picture of your favorite place in the world is going to be the surefire thing that is going to break you out of this negative thought cycle. So it could be a picture of a beach. If you're a beach type person, find that picturesque beach that you've been to that you loved, have a picture of that on your phone, or potentially, a mountaintop retreat or something like that. But you need to find a way to interrupt this thought process cycle and get yourself back into a really positive, happy state. So bringing a picture or something like that up is going to start to shift that whole negative thought process and bring you back into a really happy, joyful state. My next tip in order to break that stress cycle is music. So music can be incredibly powerful for lifting and changing your mood. So have a favorite song that you have saved, either on YouTube or on Spotify or somewhere else that you go to every single time you're getting stuck in one of these, funk cycles and you're just getting brought down. Have that favorite music that's there for you that's going to lift you up. Again, music can be an incredibly powerful tool for changing mood states. So always have that song ready to go in case you get stuck into one of these negative funky states. And finally, the last thing that you can do in order to really anchor these last two things. So you've done the thought process of thinking of somebody or some place that really brings you joy. You've listened to the music. Now, go get your favorite smell. So some people use things like essential oils because they're really easy to carry around. Other people use things like a tea bag or something like that that's like a peppermint tea, something not too strong, but they love that smell. So something like that, because smell is our strongest sense tied into memory. Our smell actually connects into the memory centers of our brain. So that's why when we smell certain things, it can bring us right back into the moment. So get something that you really love. And the first few times that you go through this process, get something that you love, that smell, and anchor yourself into this state. This is called anchoring. And if you do that a certain number of times, several times, you'll start to rewire your brain so that every time you smell this thing, you'll think of your favorite song and you'll think of your favorite person or place. So do this often enough, and anytime you get stuck into a negative mood state, just bust out that favorite smell that you have, take a good whiff of it, and boom, your mood state's going to shift just like that back into that happy, ready to go state versus that hyper stressed, spiraling downward state. Okay, so on that note, you should be healthy by choice, not by chance. And for that reason, I will see you on the next video.